Today we'll be discussing a few GRE percent problems. So before that, let's see a few rules. So if you see is or of in the problem statement, for is use equal to, for of use multiplication. Then for problems like 18 is what percent of 30, two numbers has been given and you have been asked to find the percent, use this rule. Okay. Now there is a third rule. This is applied to problems where increase or decrease of the number happened and you are asked to find the percent. So in that case it would be the end number minus the start number and then divided by the start number and multiply it by 100. If it is minus, then decrease, or negative it indicates decrease, and for positive it indicates increase. Okay, the problems like laptop price has increased from $500 to $600 and what's the percentage increase, find out it. So this rule will be applicable. Then there comes the successive application of percentage. In that case it would be like this. So 1 minus percent 1. If it is decrease, do it like this. Next percentage. So 2%. Say a problem could be like 10% decrease happened to the price of laptop and then further 20% happened next year. Decrease happened. So find the net decrease percentage. So then you have to minus it, plus 1 into 100. Here also the same this rule applied. If it is negative, it would be decrease, the net decrease in the percentage, and positive is increase. Okay, let's come to the next page. So here remember some quickies which will help you to speed up your solution process. Quickies like 1 by 4 is 25%. Okay, then 1 by 2 50%. So the more you will practice, you will be able to remember this. Then 1 by 8, remember this is 12.5%. Okay, 1 by 16 is equal to 6.25%. Okay, then 1 by 20 equal to 5%, and vice versa. Remember 5% equal to 1 by 20. Then you can have 3 by 20 equal to 15%. Then 7 by 20 equal to 35%. Okay, then you can also remember 75% equal to 3 by 4. Okay, and how it is coming? 75 by 100, dividing both numerator and denominator with 25, 3 by 4. Okay, similarly you can think of like 110% equal to 11 by 10. Okay, and 120% equal to 6 by 5. Okay, then 125% equal to 5 by 4. Remember that. Also 80% is important. 80% equal to 4 by 5. Remember these quickies. Also in the problems you will be finding increase by 10%. If it is increased by 10%, it will always be 11 by 10. 100. So 1 plus 10 by 100, 1 by 100. So this is 11 by 10. Okay. Similarly, increase by 20%, it will be 6 by 5. Okay. Increase by 25%, it will be your 5 by 4. Okay. Now if it is decrease by 10%, it will be 9 by 10. It is decreased by 20%, it will be your 4 by 5. So 80%, this is 4 by 5. Okay, then comes decrease by 25%, it will be 75%, then it will be 3 by 4. Okay, remember this quickies, this will help you. Now let's start with the problem. Now if 16 is, so it told 16 equal to is Okay, it's a classical ease of problem. 16 is 2 by 5 of multiplication 20% 100 of a number. Say I took the number as A, I assumed it. So now if I discard zeros and 2 to 4, and if I, so it will be 4. So then it will become like 4 equal to A by 50, and then A equal to 200. So the answer is 200. Okay, now let's go to next question. 45% of a number. So 45 by 100% indicates off. As it is off, so it will be multiplication of a number. Say it's is 27, equal to 27. Done. What percent of that same number is 18? Read the full question before you start solving it. So 45% of a number. So this is question 1. There is two problem involved. One is this, second one is finding the what percent of number is 2. So let's try to solve the one first. Okay, so 45. Now let's try to find out A. So we can divide it by 9, 3 and 5. Okay, 5 I can divide this 20. So A by 20 equal to 3. So the value of A will be 60. Done. So now next go to second part of it. What percent of that same number is 18? Here we will be applying that formula. Part by whole equal to percent by 100. Okay, so part is 18 over here, 60 is the whole. I have to find out the percent, and here is 100. Now I can discard 0 at both sides. Divide 18 by 6, so it will be 3. So it will be 3 by P by 10. So the value of P will be 30. So the answer is 30%. Okay, now next go to question 3. 75% of a number is 30 more than 25% of the same number. What is that number? So 75% of a number, I have to write the 75% this way. Of a number means A multiplication. Okay, remember this. And 30 more than, so here is, so I will put 30 more than, as it is told, so it will be minus 25%, 20 by 100 of the same number. So A, like this is the equation. So if I compute it, it will be 50 by 100, A equal to 30. Now 2, so A by 2 equal to 30. Okay, and then A equal to 60. So the answer is 60. Now the next question. 3 by 4 of a number. 3 by 4 of a number is equal to 150% of another number. What is the ratio of the first number to the second? So you have to find out the ratio. 3 by 4 of a number. So I have to multiplication. Say the first number is A, equal to 150% of the second number, 150 by 100, and it's a, assume the second number is B. Now we can simplify it like this. 3 by 4 A equal to dividing both numerator and denominator with 50. It is 3 by 2 B. Okay, then I can divide 3 and then also by 2 this 2. So it becomes A by 2 equal to B, and I can write it A by B equal to 2 by 1. Then I can write A is to B equal to 2 is to 1. So this is the answer. Then go to next question. 40% of a number is 80. Then 120% of the same number is what percent of 240? 40% of a number. So we can do 40 by 100 multiplication of a number. We don't know the number A. That is equal to 80. Assume it A. Now divide 80 with 40, 2. So the number is 200. Okay. Now next go to the next part. 120% of the same number. So 120% is 100 by 100 into 200. So what is that? We can find out. So this 240. Now what percent of 240? So 240 is what percent over 100%. So the answer is 100%. Okay. Now we'll go to next question. A laptop originally priced at 800 is discounted by 20%, then later marked up by 20% from the discounted. What is the fact? Now you see here discounted means decreased. decreased by 20%. Remember the quickies I told, so it will always be 4 by 5. Okay, and then increased, marked up means increased by further 20% again, so it will be 6 by 5, right? So what is the final price? It is asked to. So the solution would be 4 by 5 into 6 by 5 into 800. Okay, now this is 25, so I can divide this, and this is the whole, so it will become 8 into 4. This is 100 divided by 25 is 4, like, so the thing would be like 4 into 6 into 8 into 4, so it will become 4 into 6 into 32 into 100. Okay, now I can do it do it like this: 6 into 128, 768. Okay, like this is the answer. Next question: a population of a town increased from 25,000 to 29,000 and over 1 year, then decreased to 2,600 the next year. What was the overall population? Now as it is asked, so first year, year 1 it was 25,000. Okay, year 2 it was 29,000, and year 3 it is 26,100. Now I have to do the computation based on these two values, because that is what even asked here over 2 years. So I can ignore this value. So this is the complexity of a question, and GRE tests it whether you can discard data and take the important data and relevant data. Okay, so this would be of no use. So now to calculate it, remember the formula would be over here, where there is an increase in the value minus start. Then you can put the start at the denominator, and then 100, multiply it, and if I put it over here, so it will be 26,100 minus 25,000, and then divided by 25,000 into 100. Okay, and equal to, it will be 1,100, 25,000 into 100. Over here discard both the zeros over here, it will become 110 by 25. Okay, and that is 4.4. so 4.4%, as it is positive, so it will be increased. Okay. Now next, go to next question. A store increases the price of an item by 25%, and then to encourage sales decreases the price by 25%. What is the net percentage change? Again, there is a 2% change. Remember the formula I told. So the formula is like this: 1 minus P1 by 100, and for increase it will be P2 by 100. If it is decrease, it will be minus 1 into 100. Again, here you remember, if it negative it will be decrease, overall net percentage decrease, and if positive it will be increase. So if I put the values over here, and remember the quickies I told. So if it is increase by 25%, so I'm computing this one completely over here. Okay, increase by 25%, then it will be 5 by 4, and decrease by 25%, it will be 3 by 4. Okay, like that. So if I drop it here, 5 by 4 into 3 by 4, okay, minus 1 into 100, okay, equal to 15. This will be 15 by 16 minus 1 into 100. Okay, so it will become minus 1 by 16 into 100. As it is minus, so it will be decrease. Okay, now then 100 by 1 by 16, 100 by 16 is 6.25%. okay, now remember from the quickie, a car's value depreciates by 10% each year. After 2 years its value is 6,561. What is its original price? So remember the quickie, decrease by 10%, then it will become 9 by 10. Okay, successive, so then it will become 9 by 10 into 9 by 10, and the original value, say A, equal to 6561. Let's divide it in 7, 7, and then it's 26, 2, then it will be 9. Okay, fine. So let's divide this 81, and then A by 100 equal to 81. So the value of A would become 8100. So this is the price, original price. Then comes question 10. So a shirt costs $40. The price is first increased by 30%, then decreased by 30%. What is the final price? So remember the quickie. So increased by 40%. Sorry, it is 30%. 30% would become 13 by 10, and decreased by 30% would become 7 by 10. Okay, now here what we have to do, 13 by 10 into 7 by 10, and we have the original price 40. Now to find out the price now, so it would become 91 into 4, because we have discarded zeros over here, and it is 10, so it would become 436 by 4 by 10. So the price is now $36.4. Okay, let's go to next question. A company's revenue increased from 500,000 to 650,000. What percent increase is this? Then if the revenue latter decreases by the same percent as the percent of new value, what will be the final revenue be? Okay, so there are two problems here. So let's try to solve the first problem. So remember, this would be, for increase case, this would be the formula. So end minus start, and then start into 100. Okay, like that. So if I go by this formula, so it will be 650,000 minus 500,000 by 500. That was the original price, and into 100, like that. So the value here would be 150, and then 1000, and then 500, and then 1000, and then 100. Okay, now I can discard zeros over here, and 3 zeros from here, and then it would become 30. So the percentage change is 30%. Now the second problem, decrease by 30%. Okay, now it will be a 30% decrease. So remember the quickie, this is the second part of the problem. Decreased by 30% would become what? 7 by 10. So all we have to do, this is a very straightforward, 7 by 10, and the increased price was 650, 1 to 1000. Okay, now we can divide it this, and then just multiply it. So it will become 455,120. So this would be the result. Then go to next question. A product's price is reduced by 40% to 72. So now it is 60% of the original price. So it will be 60 by 100 of A. This is the original price, and it will become 72. This is a very straightforward question. Divide 6, it will become 12. The value of A will be $120. Okay. Then comes the next question. The length of a rectangle is increased by 20%, and the width is decreased by 20%. What is the percent change in the area of the rectangle? Okay, first of all, area of a rectangle is length into width. Remember this. Now say we are assuming this as L and this as W. So currently this is the area. Now it is increased. Now remember the quickies, increased by 20%. This becomes 6 by 5. Okay, and then decreased by 20%. 20%, sorry, decrease by 20%, it would become 4 by 5. Okay, now in that case, to area, the new area will be 6 by 5, this is the length, and then into 4 by 5 is the width, so it will become 24 by 25 LW. Okay, now we have to find out the percentage change. Now remember, for percentage change finding, we have this formula: end minus start by start into 100. Okay, like that. So what is the initial end value? 24 by 25. Sorry, let me put it properly. 24 by 25 LW minus original value was LW, and then divided by original or start value into 100. Okay, now it would become, so we can remove LW from everywhere, so it will become like this: 24 by 25 minus 1 into 100, and if I minus it, it will become 1 by 25. Now as it is negative, that means it's a decrease. Okay, now 1 by 25 is equal to 4%, so 4% decrease. Next question: a number is increased successively 10%, 20%, 30%. Now remember this quickies. It is increased here, increased by 10%, sorry, 10%, it will become 11 by 10. Increased by 12%, it will become 12 by 10. Increased by 13, it will become 13 by 10. So if this is the case, and you remember the formula, okay, as it is increased, so it will be 1 plus P1 by 100, then 1 plus P2 by 100, and 1 plus P3 by 100, minus 1 into 100. Now if I put the values over here, it would become like this. If I go by this would become 1716 by minus 1 and into 100 equal to, this would become 716 by 100. Okay, now if I discard the zeros, and so it will become 71.6%, and as it is positive, so increase. Okay, now next go to next question. A value is decreased successively. Okay, so the quickie would be 10%, 20%, 30%, so decrease. So it will become 9 by 10. Decrease by 20%, it will become 4 by 5, but for the sake of simplicity, you can keep 8 by 10. Decrease by 30%, it should be 7 by 10. Single equivalent percentage case. Again, we have applied the formula in the last question and we derived the value. So do apply it over here, derive the value, and let me know the value in the comment. Okay, this will be the home task. And then next go to next question. Okay, so the quickies are increased by 20% will be 6 by 5, and decreased by 20% will be 4 by 5. Okay, and remember the formula: 1 minus P1 by, in case of decrease, in case of increase it will be plus. Okay, 100 minus 1 into 100. In exam, don't write the formula. This is I'm writing for you to memorize, but in exam do it quickly. So it will be 6 by 5 into 4 by 5 minus 1. Okay, I can do it so that you can see it. Okay, now this will become 24 by 25 minus 1 into 100, it will be negative 25 into 100. As it is negative, that means it's a decrease, so it will become 4% decrease. Okay, next go to the next question. A number is first increased by 10%, then decreased by 10%, and then increased again by. So the quickies you remember. %% will be always 11 by 10, and decrease 10% will be 9 by 10, and the third one is again increase, so 11 by 10. So you remember the formula. So for increase, 1 plus P1 by 100. Then next one is decrease by 100, 1 plus P3 by 100. Okay, minus 1 into 100. So this will become 11 by 10 into 9 by 10 into 11 by 10. Okay, so this 3 together, minus 1 into 100. So it will become so let's calculate. 11 into 11, 121 into 9, the value is 1089. Okay, so it will become 1089 by 1000 into. In the exam, you will get on-screen calculator. Use that for complex calculation. So now if I minus it, it will be 89 by 1000 into, it is 1100. Okay, so discarding 0, and then so 8.9%. As it positive, so increase. Okay, now we'll be going to our next question. So a number is increased successively by 5%, then 5%, then 5%. So quickie, increased by 5% is what? Equal to 1 by 20. Okay, now this is not 1 by 21 by 20. Okay, let me write it properly. 21 by 20. Okay, now applying that, the formula 21 by 20 into 3 times into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20 minus 1 into 100. Okay. So the value would be coming down, it will be 8000, and let's use the calculator once more. Nine to 6, so this is minus 1 into 100. Okay, so we will be getting 1261 by 8000 into 100. So if I divide it, and now I have to divide 1261 by 80. Let's use the calculator again. So we can do it like this, equal to 1261 by 80 equal to 15.76. so this is the value, 15.76% increase, as it is a positive value. Okay, now we'll go to our next question. Number is increased by 50%, then decreased by 50%. So 50% increase, quickie is always 3 by 2, decrease is 1 by 2. Okay, so 3 by 2, remember the formula, then minus 1, okay, into 100. Then it will become 9 by 8 minus 1 into 100. So it's a positive value, so it's an overall increase. So then it will become your 12.5%. Sorry, there should be only 5% increase. Okay, then we are going to our last question. So this is a store offer 20% discount on an item, then an additional 10% discount on the already discounted, equivalent to do successive discount again. So discount means decreased by 20%. So it will be 4 by 5. Then an additional discount of 10%. So it will become 9 by 10. So we know how to calculate that thing. So we can do 4 by 5. For the sake of simplicity, make it 8 by 10. That would be much simpler. 8 by 10 into 9 by 10 minus 1 into 100. Okay. So it will become your 72 by 100 minus 1 into 100. Okay. Like that. So it will become 28 by 100 into 100. Discard both the 100 and it's negative. So it's a decrease. So 28% discount, you can say. Thank you for watching this.